Living in Cyprus, I often meet young people who have gotten a good education in major cities, have worked in well-known companies, and have finally decided to move to the island. Why? Today his story will share Milan, who was born in England, grew up in Cyprus, studied and worked in London, and finally chose to live in Paphos.
I loved what London had to offer, and it was a city life, and it was all that London comes with it, and the glitz and glamour. I've been out of the game in London for a while now, and I went this year, and I was shocked at the prices. And a lot of people I'm speaking to in London are leaving London. I came here on holiday on one of my trips, and I'm like, let's just see what happens. I was always thinking, I'm gonna go back. Now, 5 years later, I'm like, there's no way I'm going back. Definitely you get more for your buck here versus London. You know, the space and the weather and everything that Cyprus has to offer compared to the alternative in London. And now life is sort of getting the best out of everything in terms of work-life balance. It just feels like home.
Milan, what is special about this wine?
I prefer sort of more rich, full-bodied wines, and typically you get that with Malathiftical wine. So it's a type of grape that is local to Cyprus, and depending on which winery you go to, they'll have different variations of it. Kolyos actually is one of the local ones in Paphos, so they're one of my favorite wineries.
So actually you lived in London for many years, yeah? So what was the reason for you to come back here to Cyprus?
Well, whilst I was living there, I would always come back to Cyprus. I loved what London had to offer, and it was a city life, and it was all that London comes with it, and the glitz and glamour. But every 2 months, I had this need to always come back to Cyprus. I would come here, feel that relief. And I was doing that over the last few years, every 2 months. And then I came here on holiday on one of my trips, end of January, beginning of February of 2020, and then saw what was happening on the global scene. And I'm like, let's just see what happens. And then it was the lockdown, and I was here. So it kind of happened by accident. And I'm so glad that I was here when everything happened, because, you know, the space and the weather and everything that Cyprus has to offer compared to the alternative in London. So I got quite lucky with that. And then when things started opening up, beginning of 21, it was still a little bit uncertain. So I wanted to see how things planned out. And I was like, okay, let me get a job here, and then slowly see what happens. And now it's been 5 years, and, you know, I've moved here, and it just feels natural.
It's like my colleague from Limassol. She came here from London for 2 weeks and stayed for 10 years.
Yeah. And I get that quite a lot as well, dealing with all different kinds of people. You come here on holiday, and it just somehow it feels like home.
How did your life change comparing London and Paphos?
I came here just when I turned 30. So it was sort of kind of a pivotal point in my life. I started to get a little bit more serious about where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. And so I got more down to, right, I need to get a job. I've got, goal of getting my own place and, having a family and all that. And it kind of happened naturally without thinking too much. So I started off the first thing of getting the job. And now life is sort of getting the best out of everything in terms of work-life balance. And so I love the fact that, I can just get up in the morning and it's not a long commute because, you obviously in London, you're used to an hour commute, and here it's like 15 minutes. I'm at work. I do it. I finish at whatever time it is. And there's still time to go out and meet with friends or go out for dinner or, go to the gym or whatever it is. So it's a really nice balance of that lifestyle. Is it hard to find a job here in Paphos compared to London? It depends. It depends on the industry that you're in. Again, I'm also lucky because I'm part Cypriot, so I didn't have any issues with the work permits versus now because of Brexit. There's a lot more difficulties. What I knew for myself is that I really wanted to find a company where I felt that we had a similar attitudes to the work commitment and the way of thinking and the way of working and all that. So it was a very, again, an easy choice for me. I had some offers and I was looking around, and then this opportunity came up, and it was just like, yeah, straight away, it was a good fit. So it wouldn't have been just anywhere, because there are opportunities out there. There's loads of opportunities, and it just depends on you as a person and your entrepreneurial spirits. But speaking to all different kinds of people, depending on what you want to do, you can make it work.
Wages. What are the salaries in London and here in Cyprus?
You know, London now, I mean, I've been out of the game in London for a while now, and I went this year, and I was shocked at the prices. It's been insane, the increase, and you just go out for a drink or a meal, and without even realizing you're spending over 100 quid for nothing. And you go to the supermarket, and it's just simple thing. And, you know, I don't look at prices as much, but even I have noticed there's been a massive jump in just for bread or milk or even just the basic things. Wages wise, I think now I was there as a sort of a graduate level. So I was getting between 30 to 40K annually. Now I can't really say what the average is. And in Cyprus now, obviously I'm in property and sales. So it's based on it's part, you know, salary, part commission. It's doable. Let's put it that way. I think you get more for your money here versus, and a lot of people I'm speaking to in London are leaving London. So whereas before, when I first joined and started living here, I was always thinking, I'm going to go back. That was always the goal. And then now 5 years later, I'm like, there's no way I'm going back. And everyone I'm speaking to, they're moving out. They're moving out of London, or they're trying different things. So definitely you get more for your buck here versus London.
Is it expensive to find a good apartment here in Paphos?
It's becoming more expensive versus a couple of years ago. So, you know, it's very subjective. I think it depends on obviously where you're coming from. If you're planning on filling up, if it's either in the UK or the US or somewhere in Europe, Cyprus is, you know, it's a gold mine. It's 100%. If you've been looking for over a year or 2 years, you will see the jump in the price and the increase. So yes, it's still doable, but you then got to be much more quick. You find something that you like, go for it. Don't think about it, because prices are either stabilizing or they're going to go up. Whereas before you had a lot longer to think about it and there were many more options. And now really, I would say there's a load of apartments now that come on the market. So typically for a 2-bedroom apartment, you're looking around, you know, 400, 500K. And to many, you can say, well, this is Cyprus, but Cyprus is it's a paradise. And now you're paying for what you're getting. So, and the same with houses now, depending on what you get, you can look anywhere between 500 to 700K for a house. And what I would say is don't really compare it to your home as such, but really see what you're getting out of it and what you want to achieve.
To rent or to buy?
For me, I would buy. And the reason I say that, because when you come on holiday, 2 weeks, you instantly can understand whether this is the place for you. You don't need to spend months and months to figure out whether Cyprus is a place. I was speaking to someone and they came over for a week, again, by accident, and they instantly felt like this is home. And straight away, without even thinking, it's like, let's start looking for a place to buy. So if you come into Cyprus, if you know Cyprus is the place and you're wondering where in Cyprus, then you can spend, let's say, 10 days in Paphos and then 10 days in Limassol, and quickly you'll figure out, because each place has got its own vibe to it, so it doesn't take long. So straight away, if it was me, I would buy something. As long as you know that Cyprus is the place, and then you figure out where in Cyprus, just go ahead. Don't think about it, because I'd rather own the place and, let's say, pay a mortgage, or at least it's mine, rather than pay a rent to someone else and let someone else take the benefits from that. So
How you found your partner?
I got quite lucky, and it was a friend of a friend's. So it was a situation where it wasn't on the market, and I saw the opportunity and I took it. But really, when it came to myself, I would have bought something that was new, because that's my style. You know, I like something that's an easy solution where I just, walk in and it's all sort of done nice. And comparing the resales to, let's say, new builds, I would tend to go for a new build because the quality of the construction and all the energy efficiency and everything that is associated with that, I'm more drawn to that. And I've spoken to other people that prefer resales, which is fine. But then there are the pros and cons with both, right? So you've got to do whichever one you're more suited, and I would be more suited for that one. However, because this opportunity came up, I managed to get it, and now I'm going through the process of refurbishing it and getting it. So unless it's something exceptional, which happened for my case, then go for a resale and then go through the refurbishment. I'm not looking forward to, because that will come with a whole load of headaches, but it is what it is. Otherwise, definitely I would, find an opportunity in the market and just take it.
Paphos or Limassol?
I prefer Paphos, but I'm biased. So, both have their nice things about it, and we were talking about this earlier as well. So I get Limassol now, and I've started warming up to Limassol a lot. But as a place to live, I prefer Paphos. I'm more of a home person. There are things to do here. There are, some nice restaurants and amenities and everything really that you need. For me, I feel like Paphos has it. Limassol is lovely and it's got all of it. And the best thing about it is that it's not too far away. So whenever I want that and I need that, half an hour, 40 minutes, I'm in Limassol and I get to get both. So that's why for me, I prefer Paphos. I mean, I grew up in Paphos. It's got more nature. I like the more green. I like the sea. I like the views. It's not too big. It's not trying to be something that it's not. It knows what it is and it's comfortable with it. And yeah, it just feels like home.
For Paphos. And for Paphos.
By the way, I'm considering moving to Paphos myself. And my personal favorite is the new development Eden Bay. Walking distance to the sea views, a gated community with a big park, 2 swimming pools, co-working, gym, spa, and great investment potential. So, do you want to live like this in Paphos? Please write in the comments. And if you need my help moving to Cyprus and buying real estate, feel free to message me on WhatsApp or Telegram. All my contacts are in the description. And like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you soon in Cyprus.